Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little narwhal plushes. So all you're going to need for this project are some fuzzy socks like this. I used grey for this narwhal and pink for this one, but you can use any color you want. And then I used a white sock for the stomach on both of them. Then you're going to need a white felt or fleece square for the horn, some black felt for the eyes. I used this super glue to glue the eyes and the nose. And you're going to need some matching thread for whatever color you decide to go with. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is turn your sock inside out. And flatten it out. And then we're going to draw the shape of the narwhal's tail on here. So this is what I drew, and I drew it on the open end of the sock. And now we're going to go and sew around this tail shape to seal it off. Okay, so I have my needle threaded with this pink thread, and I'm using it as a double strand, like this. So I'm going to go ahead and just sew around the outline that I just drew. And you're going to want to keep your stitches fairly close together so that the stuffing doesn't come out. Okay, so I sewed all the way around the edge up until about here, and I'm going to leave this open so that I can get in and stuff the narwhal. So now I'm going to just go ahead and cut around the line that I drew. I'm going to leave maybe 1/4 of an inch as a seam allowance. Okay, so now it should look like this, and there's a little hole here, and that's where we're going to stuff it. So I actually use an old pillow for this, and I just cut a hole in it, and I just take stuffing out of that. So this is just a pillow I was going to throw away, but I found another life for it. So you're going to grab some balls of stuffing. You could also use polyester. They have stuffing meant specifically for stuffed animals and things like that. So now I'm going to turn the narwhal right side out. So his tail should look like that. And then I'm going to take the balls of stuffing and just shove them in that little opening that I left. And you want to do this until it's pretty tightly packed. And the socks are really stretchy, so you can get a lot in there. Okay, so once you have the body pretty well stuffed, we're going to go ahead and stuff the tail. So grab some little balls of stuffing, and we're going to shove them in the tail. Okay, so right now it should look like this. And now we're going to go sew this opening closed. Okay, so to sew this shut, I'm going to take these frayed edges and bend them in. and sew along that. So I'm going to start it off by going in through my thread here, and that'll keep it from pulling through the sock. This part's kind of fiddly because you have to keep pushing down the stuffing, but so you're just going to keep pinching and then sewing. Okay, so once you made it all the way around, it should look like this. And now we're going to finish off our sewing here by knotting it off and hiding our thread. So you're going to make a little stitch, pull your thread through, and then you're going to go in through the loop here and pull it tight. Then you're going to do that 2 or 3 times just to make a nice knot. And then we're going to hide our thread. So going back in about the same spot that you just came back out, you're going to shove your needle in to the whale tail and push it out. And then you're going to pull down a little bit and then snip the thread. And then it's all hidden in there. And that'll help hold it in place. Alright, so your narwhal should look like this right now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add his eyes. So you're going to need some black material. I have this black fleece material. And you're just going to cut out 2 little circles. You want them to be about the size of dimes. Okay, so here are my 2 eyes. And then we're going to go get some glue and just glue them in place. Okay, so I'm going to glue these in place. I'm putting the first one about here. And I'm just using some super glue for this, but you can use craft glue or fabric glue, or you could even sew the eye in place. And then do the same thing on the other side. I try and make sure I'm lining it up so his eyes are even. Okay, so this is your whale so far. Now we're going to make his horn. Okay, so for the horn I'm using just a white square of some like fleece felt material. And I'm just going to start rolling it up into a cone shape. Okay, so it looks like this. And then I'm going to get the glue again and just glue it in place. I'm just going to glue it in a few more places just to help hold it in place. I'm just going to trim the bottom of it a little bit to make it straight. And it should look like this. You can add stuffing into it if you want, but mine's pretty tightly rolled, so I don't think any is going to fit. So I kind of position mine in the middle of the face here. Okay, so once you get it positioned into the right angle that you want, we're going to start sewing it in place. Okay, so once you get the horn positioned the way you want, you're going to go in from the body of the narwhal and up into the base of the horn. And then like we did before, I'm going to go into the loop of the knot on the end of the string and use that as an anchor to keep pinned down. If you don't do that, your thread's just going to pull right through the sack. So you're just going to keep doing this all the way around. So go in through the top of the head and come out of the horn. Okay, so once you have the horn fully in place, you're going to go around and spiral with the thread up the horn. And you're going to want to pull kind of tight here because you want to make a little indent. And then once you get to the top, we're just going to make a knot to hold it in place. And I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure it stays. Okay, and then you can cut your thread. And this is what your narwhal should look like right now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is make some little flippers for him out of the leftover scraps from the end of our sack. So you're just going to fold them in half and then just sew roughly around the edge of it. Okay, so now you should have two pieces that look like this that are sewn shut, and now we're going to attach them. So I go back a little bit from the eye and kind of stick them there. So we're going to sew it in place now by going from the flipper to the body. Make our knot again at the end. And then you're just going to keep going from the flipper to the body and sewing all the way around. Okay, and once you finish the top edge, you're going to flip them over and sew on the bottom just to help hold it in place more. Okay, now I'm going to make my knots and finish it off. And then hide my thread. Okay, so your one side should look like this. And then I'm going to flip them over and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so this is what your narwhal should look like so far. He's got these little side flippers. And you could just stop there and be done with him, but I'm going to add a white little stomach to it because I think it makes him look cute. So we're going to flip him over onto his back. And I cut off the toe part of a sock. So all I did was cut down here at the heel. And then I cut up the sides of it to cut it in half. And I did that with a white sock. So I'm just gonna try and position it to where I want it now and trim it into the shape that I want. Okay, so once you have it cut out to the shape you want, we're gonna start sewing it down. So this is about how big mine is. So it's going to be similar to the flippers. I'm going to start at this end. So we're going to go in through the body and connect with the stomach part. And I'm going to make my knot again by connecting in through the bottom. And you're just going to do that all the way around, going from the body up through the stomach. Alright, so once you're done sewing the stomach on, this is what it should look like. And you're all finished. This is your finished narwhal. So if you like this video, give it a like. Let me know in the comments if you try this and how it goes. And if you have any ideas for future videos you would like to see, leave those in the comments as well. And don't forget to subscribe.